Zach Martin news.
Man, tough loss. Zach's a soldier, man. I really just hate to see him go out like this. Last year was Dill, and just everything he really meant to this team. The work he put in, the time, effort, man. It's just it's sickening for us because how important he is to the team. But my heart, and I'm just saddened that it went like this.
Does it force a lot of you guys in the locker room to step up in a leadership way to have Dak injured, D-Law, Zach Martin, a lot of the old guard?
I would say yes and no, just because now I think the voices are different. And I think those is positive voices. When you kind of got, some of the vets who are out, it kind of opens up the gateway for you to come in and say, it's kind of like our show now. And, it was kind of heading towards that direction, but now it happened sooner than we thought. And I think everyone across between Osa, myself, CD, embraced that.
What have you learned from a player like Zach Martin, from the old guard themselves?
Someone like Zach, man, I would say, man, I just really learned how to be a pro. I learned the consistency, his steps, how much he just taught me on just hands, how to kind of expose players, how smart he is at the line of scrimmage, how he could determine a move that I was doing versus how I was lined up, positioning, how you want to make everything look the same, your tracks, just, so much to the game. So, shout out to Zach, that's like one of my favorite players of all time, and I'm kind of sick. I never even got a jersey from him or Tyron. I got all the defensive guys, but I never got him, so I might have to sneak one on my way out.
What about him as a person? How has he impacted you on that kind of personal level?
Zach was one of the first guys to ever donate towards my foundation, to my turkey drives, things like that. So it just goes out to the person how giving and caring he is towards others. And, everything out of his mouth is always positive. He's never negative. He's not a man of many words, but you kind of know you guys' attention if he kind of talks to you and things like that. So just how supportive and, he's a truly, great person.
How do you balance this news? And obviously this is a downer for Zach with the positivity that's going on in the locker room. You guys on a 2-game winning streak, trying to build and continue that against Cincinnati on Monday.
Zach and guys kind of been out, last couple of weeks. Obviously, you hope to get him back, when you try and go on a run. But in terms of this, man, it's just like nothing changes. We got who we got. No one's going to change that. Let's just play ball, man. Let's just have fun. We got a great opportunity Monday night to put on a show. We're going to be the only show on TV. So, I'm looking forward to that, So, if you get a chance to play, that should give you, to me, in my mindset, and, guys should embrace this mindset, is you should want to go even harder. You're fighting for a spot next year. You're fighting for contracts. This should be the opportunity that you want, obviously you hate when guys go down, but it's time to go even harder. I would be oh man, I'm in ultra drive, preparation, work, let me get better. I got a chance to really go make a name for myself. So, guys should really embrace these challenges. I did embrace it my rookie year. No slip ups, no hiccups. D-Law go down, you guys step up. Okay, let's do that. So, I would say, let's do that. Embrace this challenge, embrace this, because, we got 5 games. So, let's do this.
You talk about embracing the challenge, just Joe Burrow and the season that he's having and how great he is. Just how important is it going to be for you to get after him and make him uncomfortable?
Oh, it's going to be extremely important. I got to do my job at an extremely high level. I got to be the best player on the field. If Joe Burrow, his record is opposite, he'll be the leading runner for MVP. You know what I'm saying? So I still think he should be the MVP. He's leading passing yards, passing touchdowns. The year he's having, Joe Burrow at LSU. I think this is what a healthy Joe Burrow looks like. So in terms of, we got our hands tied on one of the best offenses in the NFL. And, we've been playing a really good defense, but we got to prove that on Monday night. And this is going to be, I think, the greatest challenge of them all. Outside the Eagles, you give me someone who's better than Jamar Chase and T. Higgins right now. That duo right there is none other than the best in the NFL. So, and you add Gesicki into, a receiving tight end and how Chase Brown's been stepping up. So I'm excited for the challenge. It's just going to be us to live towards, but, I definitely feel like I got to be the best on the field Monday night.
Trey Hendrickson, what stands out about his game? I mean, he leads the league in sacks, but he's on this defense that's struggling. I mean, it's kind of like he's the one-man guy.
Hey, sometimes injuries, sometimes, I definitely think he deserves a bag, but he's just so powerful. Like, I say he reminds me of a 90s football player. No gloves, all long arm power. I mean, he's someone like you. He's going to hit you with the same thing over and over and dare you to stop it. You know what I'm saying? You see all these guys with flashy, fake chop, spin moves and things like that. Trey Hendrickson is long arm and power, and he'll switch up with a counter move off that. But, he's one of them players like, I wouldn't say he's not the most exciting player, but he's Mr. Consistent. He reminds me of Mike Evans at defensive end. Mike Evans is going to give you 1,000 yards. Trey Hendrickson will give you 10 sacks strictly off power. So, he's just one of them guys.
With the injury that Trevor Lawrence sustained, where do you stand on the whole quarterback sliding and where it's gone in the NFL?
I just think the NFL should do a better job clearing up the gray area. If quarterback's acting like he's going out of bounds, he should be going out of bounds. That's where we should mark him at. If he's acting like he's going to slide, that's where we should mark him at. Because at that point, it's the contact issue. You see a lot of guys taking advantage and getting extra yards off that. And Mahomes won games off of that, So we can't act like these aren't, game-changing opportunities and plays that, they're extending drives on. So those are momentum changers. So they definitely have to clear up the gray area. Because, it's just a tough situation. He's seeing a quarterback running full speed, and yes, he's trying to slow down, but yeah, he could be trying to slow down and make a cut move. You just never know. There's so many mobile quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
What are your thoughts on planting the flag in college?
What you mean?
Okay, say Penn State beats Indiana.
Yeah.
Y'all want to plant the flag.
I'm always keep it classy, bro. Like I always say, if you're going to win, win with class. Like, I'm not here to gloat. I believe I won because I'm supposed to win. I'm better than you. So if you feel like you got to run the field, that means you really ain't supposed to be there. You feel me? So I know where I'm supposed to be. So in terms of how Michigan move and some of these other schools move, I get it. You want to make a statement, but at the end of the day, like, football is supposed to be about respect. Like, it's competitive, but it's respectable. And, it's like, imagine someone coming in your house and throw mud all on your floors. You're going to say, it's just a respect thing.
Michigan didn't expect to win.
They probably didn't, you know what I'm saying?
They were 20.5 point under.
But I appreciate you. I appreciate them. We are. You know what I'm saying? So, we going straight to y'all should see us at Indy. We had the wrong week to have a Thursday game because I wish I was at Indy for the game.
Did you go back and look at DeMarion's touchdown just to see it again?
Yeah, I watched the replays that we posted. That was tough. He also.
Part of it?
I think the best part is him defeating the block. I think his ability was kind of always tipped, and once I knew he was on the field, no one's going to catch him. But I think the fact that the bulldozer of him was like, I'm not going to make a move. I'm going to run through the dude, and that's probably the reason why he got the pick. If he would have tried to make somebody move, somebody miss, that ball could have went anywhere. But I think the best part about him is, like, I'm always going to run through somebody.
Did you ever hold hands during the anthem?
Probably.
I think you did.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
We close like that. Like, that's really like my dog. Like I was there for him. Like, I'm the one who told him where to go get his knee surgery. I'm the one kind of like was like, keep going. Like, when I would see him in here and he was doing his rehab, like, I was like always on top of him. Hey, how you doing? Like, man, I just always, I don't know. You kind of can tell when someone's a dude. So in terms of like, someone I'm close to on this team, I would definitely say he's a big part of like, the reason why I play so hard. Because when you got someone like him behind you, it's like special.
Was there ever a moment in your rookie year on the practice field or anything where Zach stood out to you, where you just were like, I know who Zach Martin is, but man, you could really tell today by if there were ever anything, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I tell the story all the time when Dan Quinn kind of like made me work my way up. And he started off, this one Terrence Steele was probably his second year. Who was my rookie year? Terrence Steele's second year. And he had me go against Terrence and all these other guys who was on the team. And I kind of, I got the best of him. And he's like, all right, now go against Tyron. Tyron kind of, I was like, okay, this is Tyron Smith. And then, I went against Zach. And I was like, oh, this is Zach Martin. Like, you kind of, it was kind of like always like a learning and challenging moment when I went against those guys. And all it took me beat them one time, and I was like, oh, I got these guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but to get there, they all took me under their wing. Like, they all solid, but, it's kind of like art. They kind of put the pieces together, So Tyron taught me how to use a spin move. Lael taught me how to use my speed as a strength, not as a tool. He taught me how to set everything up. Like, they taught me how to play chess on the football field. So, that's always good. I got lucky. I always say that I got real lucky to have guys like that early in my career.
Would you rather Zach Martin retire or play for a different team?
Oh, man. Just speaking with Zach and just knowing Zach, I would definitely think he'll retire ever before he plays for anybody else. And that's what I mean. Like, this guy bleeds blue and white. Like, he's like literally the representation of the star. Consistency, effort, determination, greatness. So he would never play for another team. I just hope he got one more year left in the tank. Because, man, I know these injuries suck, but I was telling guys, bro, like, man, I want to finish the year strong, but, you want to play with those guys. You want to play with Dak on the field. You want to play with Zach on the field. Like, I want one more year with, D-Law, and I know the chances are slim, but I want one more year, like, running back with those guys because, I wouldn't say I took it for granted, but it's just like, damn, I didn't want it to end at the same time. You know what I'm saying? These 4 years went by fast, and it sucks how it went.
Is a 3-game suspension too much for on that Lawrence hit?
I don't know how they came up with the 3-game, but I don't know how warnings go or anything like that. If there was like a warning or if he had like prior, references to late hits or anything like that. I don't know his history, so I can't really.
Times, I think, for stuff.
So that probably determines it, I guess history plays a part in it, and they want to make a lesson or prove, the league sometimes, they want to make statements on players. So it kind of is what it is.
But nothing about what you see in that play makes you adjust anything about your game, does it?
I mean, I just play the game the right way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not late hitting nobody. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm just here to make plays, So you just play the game the right way, full speed, and kind of just make sure you ain't landing on QBs. You're pretty much good anywhere else.
Well, you need 3.5 to get to 10.
I told you I'm gonna get 10. Like, I told you that's like in my DNA. The question is if I get 17. That's what I'm talking about. Like, now you talking like a ballpark that I'm reaching for. Like, how can I get 2 a game to end the season off? You know what I'm saying? So
you start the season with 10.
I mean, 10 is like, it's like going to dinner on Friday night. Like, I think if you're talking about greatness and consistency, 10 should be like the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like, you think about anyone great in the league not averaging 10. I mean, you talking about on your way up. 10's, if you get 10 and you play 10 years, that's 100 career. You might go to the Hall of Fame. Now
You and Overshown, did you sort of envision you guys being a tandem all the way back to when you guys drafted him?
Heck yeah. At that point I was transitioning more to just defensive line, but I told you, I think I might drop back and play with him next year. You just never know.
Jump back.
Yeah, just me and him. Rock the show.
Not going to be right, on the line rushing the quarterback so you get that 10.
I had 10 off the ball before. You're
trying to get to 17. You're trying to get to 22.
Now 22, I gotta be on the line. But just 1 year with me and my dog,
Can't take these years for granted, man.
I can't. But I have to do it now because in 2 more years these knees ain't gonna hold up. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get to 22 now because 2 more years the knees not.
No. You still prime, but as in running like that, in 2 more years it kind of sum up. But you can still get off the ball in 2 years. If I'm not getting off the ball, that's bad. That's bad.
If you just played on the defensive line at Penn State, do you think you would have been drafted higher?
I don't know. I don't like to look at it like that. Because it was like my access was that I could do everything. You know, I was on the ball, off the ball, I could run. Like, that was kind of part of the portfolio. Like, the reason why they drafted me because I was a blitzing, I was a pressure guy. You know what I mean? So, the more you can do, the more you can play, you know?
But there's a thought process that people really didn't know that you were this good as a rusher, and which is why you may have been drafted higher. You wouldn't have failed at 11.
In high school, my freshman year, I had 19 sacks.
Still, some people didn't know.
I mean, bro, that was already like, I mean, bro, even some of these best high school kids ain't even putting up 15 plus sacks in high school. So you talking about a guy I consistently put up 10 plus sacks throughout high school, like.
But you know you should never have fallen to 12.
Huh?
You should have never fallen to 12.
If they knew you was this, yeah,
Right.
That's what
You're gone by the time.
You know, Michael Irvin says, you land upon a star, you know? So everything happens for a reason. So it doesn't matter where I fell, how the draft went. I knew where I wanted to be, and I landed here. So that's all that matters, right? You know what I mean? I could have, you know.
All right.
All right,
Thanks, Micah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.